Welcome to Apelvo. Whether you want to train your pelvic floor to ensure your continence, to improve your sex life, or because of your back or prolapse problems, you need to know what the pelvic floor is, where it is located, and what functions it has. The pelvic floor stretches over a large area between 4 bones in your pelvis or spine. Let's start with these bony points. You can easily feel all 4 of them on the outside of your body. At the front is the pubic bone, to the lower edge of which the pelvic floor muscles are attached. To the right and left are the 2 ischial tuberosities, from whose inner sides the pelvic floor muscles originate, and at the back is the coccyx, above which the Apelvo sensor is placed to measure muscle activity and control the games. The pelvic floor consists mainly of connective tissue and muscles, some of which you can only tense and relax unconsciously and some consciously. Experts distinguish between up to 14 different muscles in 3 superimposed layers. Tensing them has the effect of holding back urine, constricting the vagina, and holding back wind and bowel movements. In addition, the pelvic floor muscles support the abdominal and back muscles in straightening and stabilizing the spine, and keep the internal organs, such as the bladder, uterus, and rectum, in the right place. Here you can see the pelvic floor muscles closing your pelvis downwards. Let's continue with the orifices. The urethra lies hidden in the vestibule of the vagina. The vagina hidden between the labia minora and labia majora, and the anus with the strongest musculature behind the perineum. Next, we'll show you the whole thing in motion and from different positions. Have you seen how the pelvic floor muscles have also moved the bones? So that you can better observe the bones and their movements, we'll show you the whole thing again. Only this time, we've left out the pelvic floor muscles. Tension. Relaxation. Tension. Relaxation. We come to the first rule of any pelvic floor training. It's called isolation. This means you have to learn how to tense your pelvic floor muscles exclusively. Of course, you can observe your bones and muscles in the way we've just shown you, but the tensing and relaxing of your pelvic floor muscles and the wrong muscles can be seen and felt quite clearly. To give you a better idea, we close our 3D body and show you what you would actually see from the outside if you were to watch a woman alternate between relaxation and maximum tension. Tensing the abdominal muscles, the inside of the thighs, and buttocks, you have probably seen other people do this, especially children. You should avoid this during training. Even if you notice that your jaw or eye muscles move with your pelvic floor, it is just as wrong as clenching your fists or holding your breath. Let's move on to the second rule, which should be part of every pelvic floor training program. The dosage. Our muscles are not connected to switches that can only turn them on or off, but to our nervous system, which can do much more with them. To start pelvic floor training, you need to learn to tense your pelvic floor muscles with 25%, 50%, 75%, and 100% of your strength. To give you a better idea, we have added a force scale to our animation. Tension with 25% of the isolated force. Double the power from 25% to 50%. Increase from 50% to 75% of the force. And for a moment, increase from 75% to full power and release. If only the muscles of the pelvic floor were actually felt or observed during the release, we have already implemented both rules, isolation and dosage. We will show you how to observe the different levels of tension on the closed 3D body. Tension with 25% of the isolated force. Double the power from 25% to 50%. Increase from 50% to 75% of the force. And for a moment, increase from 75% to full power and release. That's it. You now know the most important rules for effective pelvic floor training. We hope that this animated video will help you become more familiar with your pelvic floor and make it easier for you to start training. No video can replace a doctor, midwife, or physiotherapist. Therefore, talk to your gynecologist before starting your pelvic floor training and have a midwife or physiotherapist accompany you. We wish you all the best and lots of fun training with a Pelvo.